I got the dirt. Someone axed Kirk for their sick game. I know who ordered Kirk's hit. Someone's hiding, scared.
When the man who built his empire on fearless speech suddenly goes quiet for good, people can't help but question what really happened. The official story never tells everything, but when Joe Rogan, known for speaking his mind without fear, steps up to the mic and says something that points fingers, the whole internet shakes. In a 3-hour episode that hit the web like a shockwave, Rogan didn't trade in gossip. He brought receipts. He laid out timelines, messages, and financial details that sent chills through everyone listening. For the first time since Charlie Kirk's passing, the story that Erica Kirk has been standing behind, dressed in black, holding back tears, started to crumble before everyone's eyes. This doesn't look like grief anymore. It looks like a show. And Rogan just yelled, "Cut." The episode dropped out of nowhere. No guests, no ads, no warning. Just Rogan, his coffee, and a pile of screenshots that turned his studio into something straight out of a thriller. He started calm, voice steady, talking about how much he respected Charlie, how they'd shared cigars after events, how Charlie once confided, "If anything ever happens to me, don't let them turn it into a circus." Then Rogan leaned forward, eyes cold, and delivered the line that's now been replayed nearly 90 million times. In 48 hours, they turned it into a circus. And the one leading the show was the woman who shared his bed that night. Rogan didn't just toss accusations around. He broke it down like a full investigation.
Erica Kirk's out here pretending she's some truth teller. Nah, man, she's full of straight up. But it infuriated people because they felt like this guy is going against the progress that was being made in society. But what he did not feel like was progress. Like it was a progressive agenda that was being pushed in most college campuses. It's a leftist, Marxist sort of agenda. He didn't feel like that was the correct way to live, and he felt like he had arguments against it, and he wanted, and it was, it's a business too, right? Like he developed this big social media.
First came the timeline. Charlie's passing happened on a night when Erica was supposedly away at a donor event in Nashville, but Rogan claimed he got private jet records showing her plane landing back in Arizona just before midnight, hours before Charlie's reported time of passing. Then came the part that sent chills: the cameras. Rogan said the security system at the Kirk home went offline for maintenance between 11:30 p.m. and 4 a.m., the same system that hadn't failed once in 6 years. He even played audio from a former security contractor who confirmed those cameras had a backup generator that somehow failed too that night. Coincidence? People online didn't think so. Then Rogan went deeper, straight into the money trail. He showed censored bank records that, according to him, came from trusted sources. They allegedly showed nearly $5 million moved from a joint account into an offshore company just 9 days before Charlie's passing. The company was reportedly tied to one of Erica's longtime college friends. Rogan's voice cracked when he said, "That's not a savings account. That looks like a payout." But the real punch came around 2 hours in when Rogan revealed text messages allegedly from Charlie's phone before it was wiped. In them, Charlie confronted Erica about a rumored affair with a high-ranking board member, someone Rogan didn't name but hinted at strongly. The final text Charlie ever sent timestamped just after 100A
platform because of it. And I don't, like I said, I don't agree. I don't think some of the things he said he should have said, but the fact that people were cheering when normal people, housewives, moms, like people working at banks, people working at various industries, celebrating a man getting in front of his kids, in the front of the whole world.
That's
like,
evil.
What the is wrong with us?
Would soon fuel the entire internet's obsession. Within hours, social media exploded with theories. Old clips resurfaced. Erica crying at the funeral but never looking toward the casket. Then came her first interview where she said, "Charlie would want us to move forward," while wearing a diamond necklace reportedly worth hundreds of thousands, bought just weeks after the funeral. Rogan played that interview next to an old clip of Charlie joking, "If something ever happens to me, Erica gets everything. That's why I never eat her cooking without a taster." The audience laughed back then, but nobody's laughing now. And just when people thought it couldn't get wilder, Rogan started talking about the life insurance policy. $35 million. That was the life insurance amount with double payout if the passing was ruled accidental. The sole beneficiary, Erica Kirk, the medical examiner's preliminary finding was labeled undetermined, pending more toxicology work. But Rogan claimed his sources inside Phoenix PD told him the full report had been delayed after outside pressure from powerful connections. Then came the moment that made jaws drop. Rogan played an alleged voicemail left for a detective by an unnamed executive saying the case needed to be wrapped up as natural causes. That detective reportedly resigned 2 days later. And just when things couldn't get hotter, Candace Owens jumped into the chaos less than half an hour after the episode aired. She posted a fiery 30-second clip from her car, eyes blazing. saying she'd been warning everyone for months. The snake wasn't outside the garden. Then she went live for 2 hours in a stream that shattered YouTube viewership records. She laid out her own claims that Erica had allegedly erased files, changed account details, and met with that same board member at a Scottsdale hotel just days before Charlie's passing. Security footage from that night reportedly showed them arguing in the garage, the board member storming off while Erica stayed behind, talking on the phone for nearly an hour. Cell data, according to Owens, linked that call to an unregistered number traced offshore. Rogan didn't shy away from the hard question, motive. He said this wasn't about heartbreak, it was about power. Charlie had reportedly been preparing to clean house at the organization, removing donors and staff he suspected were exploiting their influence. Erica Rogan claimed knew the list existed, and she knew her name was on it not for personal issues, but for allegedly redirecting funds to a barely active nonprofit in her name. Rogan said Charlie was about to expose everything and then he was gone. Then came the part that stunned everyone. Rogan claimed a household employee came forward saying Erica once asked them to buy a specific type of sleeping medication, the same kind later found in Charlie's system in massive amounts. The staffer said they refused, and 2 weeks later they were fired over a lost watch. That same watch was reportedly found in their car later during a random police stop. The charges dropped, but the warning was clear. Rogan didn't end with anger. He ended with heartbreak. He said he'd met Erica many times, calling her smart, driven, and ruthless in the sharpest way. But then came his final words. Power changes people, and when you marry someone like Charlie Kirk, you either rise with him or you break him. As of this morning, reports claim Erica has vanished from social media. Her home is gated tight, security doubled, and reporters stationed outside say even guards won't confirm she's inside. Meanwhile, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office has quietly reopened the case, this time labeling it a suspicious passing. And just like that, Joe Rogan, the guy who once just wanted to talk about elk meat and wild theories, has become one of the most powerful voices in America. Because when Joe Rogan says something shocking, half the country listens instantly, and the other half can't stop wondering why Erica Kirk has stayed completely silent. People are buzzing everywhere. And now the question isn't what happened, it's why hasn't she said anything? What's she hiding? Or is she just waiting for the storm to pass? The silence speaks louder than any statement right now. In the high-stakes world of politics and power, where loyalty means everything and betrayal cuts the deepest, one voice has completely shattered the calm, and that voice belongs to Candace Owens. Her words hit like thunder through the halls of Turning Point USA and beyond. Once a close ally in the conservative movement, she's now dropped a revelation so explosive that it's threatening to blow apart everything people thought they knew about Charlie Kirk's story. Owens claimed that Erica, the widow who seamlessly stepped into Charlie's role as CEO, didn't just suspect something dark was happening around Charlie's final days. She knew. Owens said Erica had insight into the people closing in on him and chose silence when it mattered most. This all came out during a live October broadcast of Owens' show, which drew record-breaking viewers still reeling from the September tragedy. Charlie had been lost during a speech at Utah Valley University, reportedly by a lone gunman named Tyler Robinson. Authorities said the case was closed, tributes poured in, and the story seemed over. But Owens wasn't letting it rest. She opened her broadcast with an icy calm, saying, "I've held back long enough." Her voice trembled like someone who'd seen something they could never unsee. Then came the chilling part. She said Charlie came to her in a dream, crystal clear, warning her with one word: betrayed. In that vision, he pointed toward the ones closest to him. And Owens' message was simple: Erica knows. Within minutes, social media went nuclear. Hashtags like #EricaKnows and #KirkBetrayal started trending worldwide. Viewers picked apart every detail from Erica's calm funeral speech, where she promised to carry on Charlie's mission, to the alleged leaked messages Owens showed on air. One viral comment summed it up perfectly: "If she knew and stayed quiet, that's not grief, that's guilt." But Owens didn't stop at accusations. She fired back hard, saying, "The truth isn't buried with Charlie. It's walking around in a suit, running his empire like nothing happened." That line alone sent chills down everyone's spine. And this wasn't Owens' first strike either. She had already been stirring the pot weeks earlier, digging through the FBI's timeline and calling it a cover-up full of holes. She was naming names and daring the world to question everything they thought they knew. Tyler Robinson, the man authorities said was behind the attack, was caught at the scene with a rambling note full of rage toward conservative figures. But Candace Owens argued he wasn't acting alone. In a fiery follow-up stream, she claimed sources had pointed out odd gaps in the footage, irregular arrest logs, and how he was suddenly labeled as unstable right after being taken in. To her, it smelled like a cover-up, a cleanup job wrapped in official paperwork. And beneath all that chaos, Owens suggested the real danger was coming from inside Turning Point USA itself. She brought up whispers of internal power struggles and donor influence, saying that certain figures had allegedly pressured Charlie in private meetings to toe a strict line politically or risk losing major support. With Erica now caught in the middle, Owens painted a story that felt more like a political thriller than real life. Then she dropped another twist, saying she'd personally warned Charlie about Erica's connections months earlier during a tense private talk at a Tusa event. "I saw how she moved in those donor meetings," Owens told her audience. "Always charming, always smoothing things over. But those smiles never reached her eyes." Charlie had laughed it off back then, saying, "She's my rock." Owens added coldly, "Now those rocks are the ones that sank him." The podcast went into even deeper waters, reading out alleged sponsor emails that seemed to map out backup plans if Charlie's stance ever changed too much. One line read, "If he wavers, we pivot. Family first." Owens paused after reading it, staring into the camera as if to say, "Pivot to who?" When the episode ended, the internet exploded again, this time even louder. Critics came swinging from every direction. Laura Loomer, known for never backing down from a fight, called Owens cruel and unhinged for dragging a grieving widow into the chaos. "Imagine accusing Charlie's wife of being part of what happened to him," she posted, sparking a flood of comments, both defending and attacking Owens. Supporters of Turning Point accused her of exploiting Charlie's memory for views, especially since her show had suddenly rocketed to the top of Spotify's charts. But Owens didn't back down, not even a little. She posted a new thread with censored text screenshots and directly tagged Erica, "Your silence is louder than any denial. Charlie deserved better and so does this country." The ripple effect reached all the way to Washington. During a White House ceremony, Charlie was honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Erica accepted it with composure, giving a polished speech about truth and unity. But offstage, insiders whispered that staff were scrambling to distance themselves from Owens's claims before things fractured the movement even further. And through it all, the tension kept climbing. The applause may have echoed across the room that day, but the questions hanging in the air were louder than ever. While others tried to steer clear of the drama, dismissing everything as conspiracy talk, Candace Owens wasn't backing down. She fired back live on air, saying, "Charlie's not resting. He's rolling in his grave because the truth is being buried alive." Her voice trembled with conviction as she called Erica not just someone who knew, but someone acting as the gatekeeper to everything hidden beneath the surface. Owens shifted gears. The fire in her tone softened into something more personal. She started talking about the dream that had sparked it all, the one she said changed everything. "I don't dream like that often," she confessed quietly. "The last time was when I was pregnant, and that intuition saved lives." One viral edit even synced Charlie's final speech with Owens's dream, and then the chaos left the internet and hit the streets. Protesters gathered outside TFUSA headquarters in Phoenix. On one side, Owens supporters demanded Erica's resignation. On the other, mourners held photos of Charlie with signs reading, "Let him rest." Finally, Erica broke her silence kind of. She released a short statement through the organization's account. "Speculation dishonors my husband's memory and our family's pain. We remain focused on his mission," but that calm response only raised more questions. Why no direct denial? Why no lawsuit against Owens for defamation? Behind closed doors, insiders whispered that the legal team was too afraid to dig deeper, worried about what else could surface if the truth came out. Owens sensed the shift immediately and doubled down again. She announced a truth summit for the following week, inviting whistleblowers, donors, and yes, even Erica herself. But this wasn't a peace offering. It was a public challenge. "Come on the show," she tweeted. "Let's put it all on the table." Charlie would want that. The promo for Candace Owens' upcoming Truth Summit came with a cryptic teaser clip, a fragment from another dream. In it, she claimed Charlie handed her a key engraved with the words "Ease Secrets." Was it pure drama or a sign of something real? Online, most people bet on the latter. Speculation went wild with fans creating online polls and betting pools about what massive revelation she dropped next as pressure mounted. Familiar faces began quietly backing away, but new allies appeared in the most unexpected places. Tucker Carlson, a longtime Kirk associate, made subtle nods to Owens during his monologue, hinting that uncomfortable truths were surfacing. Then comedian and podcaster Dave Smith, someone who had publicly debated Charlie in the past, who retweeted Owens' key clip with just one emoji, a lit fuse. That single symbol said everything. And then the biggest twist, Joe Rogan himself chimed in. During a casual segment on his show, he mused, "If Candace is right about this whole wife angle, man, that's some Succession-level drama right there." Coming from Rogan, the same person who hosted Charlie's final interview before his passing. That comment carried serious weight. Suddenly, even the skeptics started paying attention. Meanwhile, inside Erica's world, things were reportedly getting tense. Sources whispered about late-night board meetings where her leadership was being dissected line by line. Donors who had quietly distanced themselves after the tragedy were now returning, but not without conditions. Owens claimed those donors were given private assurances, payments even to stay loyal and keep quiet. Then she dropped another digital grenade, an alleged email chain with names blacked out, showing six-figure stability funds wired to the organization just one day after Charlie's funeral. Owens called it blood money, vowing to trace every cent.